I've written and directed professionally in the professional theatre and for television for about 20 to 25 years. It all started years ago with a youth theatre production of Dead Fish. Hull Truck picked that up, and from then they then commissioned me, and I've written a play. I wrote a play a year for about 15 years. Plays such as Like a Virgin, Albert Nobbs, Studs, many of which were published, and consequently they now get performed as far afield as New Zealand and Australia. We formed Steelworks Theatre Company last year because there isn't really a main-scale professional producing theatre in Teesside. Considering that over 500,000 people live in this region, and in 2025 they're applying for City of Culture status, it just seemed that we need a professional theatre, and consequently last year we launched our inaugural production, Grow Up Grandad. We premiered last September. In just over a week, we had just about 2,000 people from Stockton and surrounding areas come to watch the play, which was an incredible number for ARC. It smashed all their box office records.
I think the fantastic thing about productions like Grow Up Grandad is that the writing, the performance, the voices, the accents, the stories, the references are authentically local. They're transferable. I mean, they're meaningful to anybody anywhere in the country and probably arguably overseas as well, because they deal with universal issues. But they're rooted in really authentic local references, and that makes us feel like we belong to it. That makes us feel like we've got a part in it. As audience members, that makes us feel more special, and it makes the piece feel more powerful.
I'm going on holiday to Stockton.
It'll do, you're good.
I bet Scarborough's shitting itself.
In the inaugural production of Grow Up Grandad, I was able to use two young girls, Eliza Dobson, who at the time was 13, and Rose Allen, who at the time was 12. And these girls were selected from an audition of somewhere of just over 100 girls auditioned. And I think that kind of justified everything that we tried to do with Grow Up Grandad, which was bring seasoned professionals from the area back and marry them with the talent that's here, and they kind of live and grow and learn in Teesside.
Grow Up Grandad's been an amazing opportunity for us both, because we'd both never acted in a straight play before. It was very nerve-wracking, I thought.
When Gordon first asked me to do the play, he said we'd be working with these two young girls, which terrified me at first. But what was wonderful was to see their enthusiasm and dedication to the part, and just remembering how that was for me when I was their age starting out. So it's been a lovely experience, and one I would happily do again.
I think these two young girls that are in Grow Up Grandad have got a very, very bright future. A lot of the youth theatre students that I've worked with have gone on to work professionally and successfully in the industry, whether it be theatre, film or television. So people like Mark Benton's never off the televisions, never out of work. Daniel Casey was in Midsummer Murders, made 30 films, then went into Curious Incident of the Dog in the Night. Michael Hodgson ended up on Broadway in Pitman Painters. Neil Granger's done extensive television work. And people like Jill Halfpenny and Vicky Entwistle, who fresh from drama college worked in Teesside and have then gone on to have hugely successful careers. And as a corollary of that, the grandad in this play, believe it or not, I actually started off in my youth theatre, and it's really fascinating that he's now come back to actually pass his experience and knowledge and expertise and working with the youngsters who are now in the play.
I've worked all over the world, in the West End, in big musicals with Imelda Staunton and Michael Ball and some fantastic actors. The RSC, as well as smaller scale stuff. I mean, most of the repertory companies around the country as well. And a lot of that was, if I'm honest, came from working with Gordon as a youngster.
I did have the idea that if I was going to set up a professional theatre company, then we had to do it properly. And consequently, everything to do with everything that surrounds the production, from the professional stage management, the professional designers, the professional actors, are all kind of fully paid up equity members. We've done it properly so that the quality of the production really does shine through and the production standards really do shine through. And I think the feedback we had last year was testament to that.
The outcome of the play was amazing, nothing like I'd expected. It was sort of like thrilling to be on stage and like see the audience like giving us standing ovations every night.
Having a resident producing company in your area provides people with the opportunity to, firstly, to see the professional work coming through, secondly, to become a part of that in all its facets, all the aspects of production.
With this play, when we debuted it in 2015, we attracted hundreds of school children. The schools came in their droves and absolutely loved it. They really kind of engaged with it, related to it, and it acted as a huge stimulus for lots of the GCSE and A-level work. And consequently, when we decided to relaunch it this year, the schools have come again. And it's very important, I think, to kind of keep theatre going, that the school children can see live professional theatre on their own doorstep. Because it was so successful and the audiences flocked, the Arts Council were very keen to fund it again so that we could take it to a wider audience, and hence we're embarking on a tour where we're going down to Manchester, to Newcastle, down to Leeds and Chesterfield and various other venues.
It didn't take much to persuade me to come home and to come and do this play and help, hopefully, in getting this company off the ground.
Ultimately, the long-term goal is that we would become self-sufficient, that we would be able to use varying directors, different casts, look at new work as well as the classics.
I just hope that this production of Grow Up Grandad can be the start of something really fantastic.